What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Not So Super Movie Reviews. Happy New Year! I know I'm a few days late on that. I decided to end my long hiatus by making a video to celebrate 2019 and all the terrible movies, the 12 terrible movies that I watched in 2019. I thought, what better way than to pick out the 5 worst ones and rank them? So that's exactly what I did. So without further ado, let's talk about the bottom 5 movies I watched in 2019. All right, and coming in at number 5 is X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now, this movie actually had a higher score than some of the other movies that I had in my list, but when I looked at all of the movies together, I felt that this one definitely deserved the number 5 spot over some of the other ones. It was also only the second movie I did, so I was still kind of getting in the groove of things, but this was actually the hardest spot to pick because there was I watched a lot of bad movies last year, and yeah, there's other movies that could rival this one, but ultimately, it seemed pretty obvious to choose X Men Origins Wolverine. I mean, they took a proven character, not just a proven comic book character, but a proven cinematic character. You had X1 and X2, a proven actor in Hugh Jackman. Everyone loves Hugh Jackman. I mean, even after this train wreck of a movie, we have several movies where he is carrying the movie. I'm thinking of Days of Future Past and Logan. So, that's just a testament to how good this character is and how you could not have ruined it even more than you did. I mean, just the choices they make in this movie, there's so many plot holes. The story is weirdly paced and all over the place. The special effects, who can forget the claws? So from start to finish, this movie just drug a character that you already knew we liked through the mud. Luckily, we hosed him down and got him into a couple more very good movies. And coming in at number 4, and I swear I didn't plan it this way, is Fantastic Four 2015. Now, if me uttering the name of this movie just made you remember that this movie exists, then you're pretty much spot on as to why this was in my list. It's just a forgettable movie. I mean, the casting was okay, but the characters, the story, the CGI, it's just such a forgettable flatline of a superhero movie. If I mention Fantastic Four movie to you, if you're anything like me, you're probably thinking of the other ones, the two that they did before this, because even though those movies were also bad, and we will be doing those on our channel, they were bad in a way that you at least remember. But this movie just is just forgettable. I mean, that's probably the best way to say it. At number 3 in our list is Spawn. Now, Spawn is essentially the wet dream of a Hot Topic manager from the 90s. I mean, it's got edgy techno music, and he's from hell, and there's dirty jokes, and he shoots guns, and it's just, it tries so hard to be edgy and cool that it's hard to watch. It's trying so hard that you feel bad for it. But there's just several times in the movie where something happens or you see something and you're just like, okay. The probably the worst thing it does is the special effects. I mean, what is this? Like, what's going on here? If you watch my review, there's other movies that came out this year that looked great. So I just don't know what happened with this movie, but the direction and the story and the overall aesthetic is just, it's just garbage, honestly. And it's a dark, edgy character. What Spawn is. I mean, he's a demon. He sold his soul to the devil, but then he kind of changed his mind. Like, that should be an easy concept to make a dark, gritty superhero movie. I mean, they're making another one, and I'm sure that it'll be better than this. I mean, it's just, I don't think we were ready to make dark, gritty superhero movies yet. But this movie certainly did not do any pioneering on that front. Coming in at number two, quite deservedly, is the movie Blank Man. This is a movie that I watched growing up that I loved. You know, there's other movies that I watched growing up that I have gone back and watched and still found myself enjoying them. You know, Billy Madison still holds up. Pootie Tang, even, you know, it seems like a movie that would not age well, but I still laughed. There's plenty of examples of movies that I liked as a kid that there's still something to appreciate about them. Blank Man is not one of those movies. I mean, the fact that I ever liked this movie as a kid is just making me rethink my upbringing. You know, like what went wrong that I'm laughing at this. I mean, it's basically just a guy in a thrown together costume pretending to be mentally challenged for an hour and a half. And if that hurt you to hear, then imagine watching it. It's a superhero parody that's a comedy that just ends up being a parody of itself. It's a train wreck on every level. You know, the few redeeming qualities it has do not make up for the fact that this movie fails, you know, at being a parody. It fails at being funny. It fails at being a superhero movie. It just doesn't do anything right. And it's a dark spot on cinematic history, I think. And now for the number one spot. And if you follow my channel, if you're one of the 12 people that follow my channel, then you probably already know what I'm going to say. And that is Catwoman. I mean, I would rather watch Cats. I'd rather watch Cats 3 times than rewatch Catwoman, if that tells you anything. You know, this movie not only fails at being a superhero movie, it fails at whatever it was trying to be. It fails at being a movie. I mean, this movie is an affront to the art of cinema. And if you think that's harsh, go watch it and then then tell me that that's harsh. And I bet you can't. You know, starting this project with my channel, I've noticed that there's really 2 kinds of bad movies. All right, there's movies that are so bad that they're actually fun to watch. It's like a kid falling off a swing set. You know, it's like it's not good, but got a laugh out of it. And maybe that's just me. You know, and then there's movies that are just forgettable, you know, like Fantastic Four, like we talked about before, where it's just like, it's so bad that it's just boring. Like, it just doesn't do a good enough job of giving you anything new or exciting. And then there's actually a third category that Catwoman invented. And it's a movie that's so bad that not only do I not want to watch it, but it hurts me to watch it. The fact that any superhero movies, comic book movies were made after this movie is a testament to the mercy and forgiveness of moviegoers and critics alike. So, yeah, that is my top 5 worst movies that I watched in 2019. There are going to be many more this year. It might be a few more weeks before we get into our regular schedule again. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you so much for a good first year on YouTube. If you like this video and you're not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. You know where the buttons are, more than likely. But yeah, we'll see what the new year brings, and I'll see you next time.